Hey Mama, I'm Ashley, and this is the Maverick Mompreneur podcast, where you're free and encouraged to own your desire to create and scale an impactful, discoverable online brand and business in the midst of motherhood. A business that's aligned with your mission, lifestyle desires, personality, and zone of genius without wasting your time on the hustle and grind hamster wheel that is social media. Can I get an amen? Sis, you are a maverick, an original, willing to stand out in your authenticity, defy expectations, and do life and business outside the box. In our world, if it's not aligned with who we are, it's a hard pass or a brave pivot. So if you're here for the powerful identity shift and transformation from boss babe or boss mom to aligned CEO, building a one-of-a-kind, influential, hustle-free online business that will produce long-term impact and multiple streams of income through SEO, affiliate marketing, and courses while building yourself in the process, well, pop in those AirPods, grab that cup of coffee or glass of wine, and let's get growing. Hello, and welcome to the first official 2024 episode of the Maverick Mompreneur podcast. Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time listening. I am so glad and thankful that you're here. This year is going to be so good on this podcast. I'm getting giddy thinking about telling you about what's to come. But firstly, Happy New Year. Secondly, I wanted to give you some updates since we last spoke. Important to note, I have officially become a fish mom to two glowfish, Augie and Aqua. My daughter has been wanting a pet for quite some time. I don't know that I/she are quite ready for that responsibility, but fish seemed like a good starter. But I am already loathing the task of cleaning out the fish tank every week, but it is the least I can do to provide her with some little pet companions, and they are really actually kind of cute. So any fish maintenance, fish mom tips, welcome. Hit me up in the DMs on Instagram. I am currently getting over a New Year's kidney infection, and if you've ever had a kidney infection, you will know that that was a horrible way to start the new year. Literally scared for my life, but I'm feeling so much better. Today is the second day of antibiotics, and I have turned a corner, and no shocker there. As soon as I turned a corner, it's like, I can record a podcast. Don't think I'm psycho. I was just really excited about this series, and I was so excited to hit the ground running and batch record a bunch of episodes for you so that I could just crank them out. No, it was not to be. It was not to be. This is also dry January, which of course there was not even any temptation to have a sip of alcohol or anything other than as much water as I could possibly guzzle. And it was also a really good reminder of how much I hate the feeling of being hungover, because a kidney infection felt like a hangover, but times 40 million. And so I feel like it might be dry 2024. I went alcohol free for about 4 months at the end of 2023, and it was honestly the best experience ever. I don't even know why I sort of decided over the holidays to have a little bit here and there, and then right around the new year kind of went off the rails again, if we're being honest. And so I don't know. I just don't think that alcohol is in alignment with any of the goals that I have for my life, and so it's going to be hard to convince me to ever kind of take that back up as a habit. Anyway, my word of the year, if you missed the last episode of 2023, is cultivate, and I am still in love with that word. I feel like I haven't cultivated much of anything aside from trying to cultivate back my health. So it remains to be seen how that word is going to manifest and cover my year, but I have faith. I got a Ninja Creami for my daughter and I, and if you haven't seen this on the internet, I got hooked. I bit the bullet or took the bait or whatever you say, and it is truly amazing. I had my protein shake as ice cream this morning, and it was divine. I'll link the Ninja Creami in the notes because I didn't even know it existed, and I feel like you should know it exists too if you don't already. And my daughter has been with her dad for 2 weeks because this year it flip-flopped, and so he had her for 2 weeks, whereas I had her last year for 2 weeks, and we'll have her for 2 weeks of the winter break next year, which allows us to travel and see our family in South Carolina and all that good stuff. But it's been difficult not having her with me, especially not feeling well, although I'm glad she wasn't here when I wasn't wasn't feeling well because that wouldn't have been good either anyway. Always a mixed bag of emotions when it comes to that. But anyway, I'm so excited and I know that kids will really love this too. So I'll link the Ninja Creami for you. I get her back here on Monday and I'm so excited for that. I literally can't wait. And then last but not least, there is a new series that's going to be on the podcast, and it might be a series the entire year. I'm really not sure, but I got this idea probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was thinking about batching podcast episodes for the upcoming year to kind of leave a little bit more wiggle room and flow in my work schedule and the ability to hand tasks off to my team when it comes to the podcast. I have a little bit of control issues where I want to, edit everything and do everything all on my own. And last year I really tried to create podcast episodes for you, not in the moment, but in the week. So things that were going on during the week, I wanted to record, but that's not really sustainable if I want to be able to delegate things and hand things off as far as process, because if you know, and if you don't, I'm going to tell you right now, what I do as far as workflow is create one long form piece of content, such as the podcast you're listening to, and I repurpose that one piece of rich, valuable content into 10 to 15 other smaller pieces of content. And so to be able to hand that off, I really need to be weeks ahead of my own workflow, if that makes sense. And so that's just a little behind the scenes. If you also podcast or you have a website or a YouTube channel where you're doing a long form SEO rich piece of content and you want to repurpose, I recommend that as well, getting ahead of the game. I did that for the first year and it was beautiful. And then I got into this mode where I don't think it's a bad thing. I wanted to really feel more connected and kind of in step with you all, but I think I can still do that and batch as well. And if that means a second episode per week, then maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do the Grow With You minis as a second episode, but have this series, which I promise I am going to get to actually telling you about, as the main meat and potatoes of our podcast year together. And there I said it year, because I really do think I could probably spend years talking about this. And so what I'm going to do is take you through the key components of the Brand Builders Roadmap to Sustainable Online Income. And the Brand Builders Roadmap is a tool that I originally created for my membership, the Maverick Society. And I do have this as a standalone offer. It is a Google Sheet toolkit, and it has all of the essential elements of building a brand in the way that I have that has led me to sustainable and scalable income. And so there are 8 different components. The first is mindset and self-management. The second is branding. The third is product and offer development. The fourth is marketing. The fifth is audience growth. The sixth is monetizing through multiple streams of revenue. And obviously within each of these categories, you can already tell there's just so many topics and things to talk through. The seventh is scaling growth through funnels and paid traffic. And the eighth is managing your business as CEO. And so what I realized was, as I was brainstorming content for the podcast, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to pull nuggets from each of those categories of my tool and share them with you, and some extra little thoughts and things here on the podcast, because what I want for you as a listener of the podcast is to, even if you never choose to take a next step with me, whether that is purchasing the Brand Builders Roadmap tool, whether that's purchasing any of my 26 and counting digital courses at this moment in time as I'm recording, or work with me one-on-one, or hire me to create your website, or join my membership. Even if you never do any of those things, I want this podcast to be a resource for female entrepreneurs to come to and be able to put together the pieces of the puzzle. And so I want it to be in a sequential season, if you will. So maybe I will, as I'm recording this, I'm thinking maybe I will make this a season 2, and it will be a sequential walkthrough building out a brand that will bring you sustainable income. And so today, where I'm going to start with you is one of the items that's in the Brand Builders Roadmap, my current business model. So obviously in the tool, it is literally the full thing, but I'm going to walk you through the basics of my philosophy, why I build things the way that I do, the components of my business, and all of that good stuff. And so definitely get something to take note with, unless you have the Brand Builders Roadmap, in which case you can find this under the very, very first section called My Online Brand Building Journey under that particular tool. So after this very, very long intro, which will not be as long for any of these episodes to come, but I wanted to set the stage for you for what is to come, let's get into talking about my current business model. And I hope that there are are lots of nuggets that you take away and apply to your own. All right. Let's jump into this first installment of the Maverick Mompreneur podcast, Brand Builders Roadmap Overview / Deep Dive. I don't even know what to call this. We'll see as these episodes go on how this gets refined, because the more I think of it, the more I'm like, oh my, this could be quite a few episodes. Anyhow, I'm going to go over my philosophy and my framework for how I build a business. So first of all, overall, after having an online business in one way, shape, or form since 2016 and seeing tons of different changes and pivoting from blogger and influencer into the world of social selling and pivoting out of that and into coaching and digital course creation, digital product creation, and the business that I have now, one thing has stood out to me as essential for a stable business and a regulated nervous system, which is really, really important to me as a mom and as an individual who really values, for lack of a less cliche phrase, living her best life. So if you're I want to live my best life person too, you need a regulated nervous system. And to be honest, being an entrepreneur doesn't really lend itself to that fully. So there's a lot that goes into that. Future episode upcoming. But the component of business model that lends itself to that sense of stability, that peace, that knowing what you're going to start the month with, what your baseline is having monthly recurring revenue. And so for a while there, I had amazing monthly recurring revenue from social selling. I built quite a large team. If you've listened to, I'm not sure which episode it is, I'll have to go back and look, and I can link it in the show notes as well. But I did step away from team building, from building a team, from leading a team, because I no longer aligned with doing that. And I'm not going to get into that here, but I did understand the power of that recurring revenue and understanding that I wasn't going to start at zero every month. And so my philosophy is, in order to have, or I don't know if this is the philosophy, that sounded a little bit like highfalutin or whatever, but my belief is that having a stream, if not more than one stream of revenue in place within your business that provides that stability is so key. And that's what I focus on. And so I'm going to walk you through the different components of my current framework, starting with affiliate marketing via sales funnels to create passive income. So as of right now, I have two different websites. Both of them have opportunities for affiliate income, mainly through the Amazon Associate and or Amazon influencer programs, some from other separate affiliate programs, and also reward style / like to know it. So having that passive income every month via affiliate marketing through my website, and also organically on social media as it fits within my content. That's also something I'm big on. Is I love being in stories. And if I am using something that I buy, love, and want to share, and it fits with the needs of my audience or the desires of my audience, I share that there too. But that I don't consider that passive income, because I'm actively doing something in stories if I make any commissions from purchases made through my link. So the passive piece is through sales funnels. And that includes the product from the company that I partner with, that I no longer lead a team or build a team, but I do promote that company's collagen because I have used and loved it for years. And so I have sales funnels that sell that product for me completely 100% passively. So I have income every month from affiliate marketing passively. So that's one component of the recurring revenue. And to answer a question that you may have in your mind at some point during this episode, and I should have prefaced this, did I build all of these things all at once? Absolutely not. Building a brand with multiple streams of revenue takes time. And if anyone tells you anything differently, they're blowing smoke up your behind. And if they did it that way, then they either had a massive team, or they had massive influence coming into whatever they were doing, or they had both, because there's really no way to set up all these things, especially on your own as a solopreneur, as I've done, in a very short amount of time. And so I always want to be completely transparent and set up the most realistic expectations, because what I would rather see for you and what I would rather see for my clients, and this is why the women who work with me, they are drawn to me for this reason, I'm going to shoot it to you straight. Are you going to be making thousands of dollars in passive income in affiliate marketing in your first month? Probably not. But would it be worth it to set up long-term assets and sales funnels so that you could be in a year or two from now? Yeah, do it once and then have an asset for the rest of your career. To me, that makes sense. Anyway, I'm digressing. The second component of my business framework, if you will, is focusing on low to mid-ticket offers. So when I started in my coaching business, I really focused on high ticket. So one-on-one coaching and group programs that were higher priced. And as things have changed, the economy has changed, and also my own philosophies of accessibility have changed, I shifted my entire business model actually last year to low to mid-ticket offers and focusing there to make my offers more accessible, but also to increase the amount of customers that I have who are in my funnel, if you will. So I can not only serve more people, but I allow more women to see what I can offer. And if they are ready and desiring of done-for-you services or one-on-one, then I've given them that opportunity to really work with me in a hands-on way before that time period through either my membership or a course or a lower cost group program. So focusing on low to mid ticket offers, to me, more customers equals more long-term sustainability. And I would rather have that long-term sustainability over faster big money months and cash grabs. I'm really tempted to jump on the trend of doing the 2024 ins and outs, but online entrepreneur style. And so one of mine would be in long-term sustainability, out cash grabs. Like you see all of these, like the MRR craze and things where people are making $20,000 a month. But my question is, where is the long-term sustainability in that? Where is the recurring income? Where is the customer journey? Where is the offer suite and all of that? What is the long-term business plan? And so that is my heart as far as what I want to teach this year here on the podcast, more in depth in my programs and membership, and then obviously at a higher level with my one-on-one clients, is building out revenue streams and building out systems for a sustainable business for the future, and being patient with the process and holding that mindset of what you are building and why, over doing things that are going to be quicker cash grabs that won't lead to long-term credibility, first of all, with your audience, sustainability for your business. So first two components, we have affiliate marketing via sales funnels for passive income, and then a focus for me on low to mid ticket offers. And those range anywhere from $7 to $444 mainly, with a few outliers here or there. The third component of my current business model, which I am absolutely obsessed with, is that everything funnels to Maverick Society, my membership. Now, not everyone who comes into my sales funnel ends up in my membership because that just wouldn't make any logical sense. But the women who I created it for do end up in the membership, and that's what I love. So that is where I can best serve the most female entrepreneurs. It's something that's scalable. I spend a lot of time in the Maverick Society. We have weekly group coaching calls, and quick questions can be asked within the Facebook group any day, Monday through Friday, and someone can get a response within 24, maybe 48 hours if it's a very busy week. But there's one of me and many members, and they're working through my courses, they're experiencing my programs as part of their membership, and that is a year-long commitment. But that is monthly recurring revenue for me. Of course, there are members who pay for the year in full because that is a deep discount. I think it's something like 3 months free as it's priced currently to pay in full. But that membership provides recurring income, and it also energetically, that is where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is where I want to spend my time. This is where I want to constantly, consistently refine my offers for them. I want to add new things. Like, okay, something came up on a coaching call. I'm going to create this little ancillary video or program. I love it. It helps me to stay focused, and it makes me feel like I'm really able to move the needle with a large group of women at one time. It's not one-on-one coaching. Obviously, that's totally different and we'll get there, but it is something that is recurring, it's scalable, it's impactful, and you might be thinking, well, how is it scalable beyond what I'm doing now? Well, I could add more than weekly coaching calls, but what I would likely do if it got to a point where there were so many members that the quality was being watered down, or the amount of face time my members were getting in hot seat coaching was getting getting watered down, I could add on support team members and coaches as we continue to grow if I wanted to add more calls. So a second weekly call, for example, or I could go on and on. And then there's also upgrades available. So there's an elite membership, which offers one 60-minute call per month to members. And there's a limited amount on that, but there's different ways within the membership that members can upgrade for more support if they would like. All right. The fourth part of my business is limited one-on-one coaching. So what I found with one-on-one coaching that I love to do and I feel like is the best experience for my clients is a hybrid model. So I do coaching that is not a hybrid model, but I want to talk to you about this because I feel like this is pretty unique and it might be something that you'd want to consider if this feels aligned for you to bring into your own business. So if you have something that you coach someone else to do, is there a component of that you could do for or with them and incorporate it to help them move the needle faster? So for me, a lot of my clients, all of my clients have amazing skill sets and experiences and background and passion and things to share. But a lot of what gets them held up as far as an online business is the tech piece of it, the tech roadblocks. There's so many components. A sales funnel sounds so nice, but when you think about it, there's probably 20 components that someone brand new who has expertise in their field, they don't want to spend the time to learn how to do all of that. And so they're willing to be coached on their front end, their branding, their marketing, the things that they're doing to get their expertise out there and that face time. But they would like for me to help them to create those brand assets. And so I do very limited hybrid coaching, 2 clients at a time. And so I found that to be a great balance to have 2 clients at a time and the membership. So that is my kind of threshold as a solopreneur of what I can manage and also provide excellent service to my clients and my members. And then part of where my one-on-one coaching clients come from, many times they are members. So many times I will have Maverick Society members who get to a point where they've gone through the roadmap and they're at a point where they're ready to do more advanced next level stuff and they want extra support in that. And so then we have that conversation. I also have people who find me through this podcast who want to go straight to one-on-one. If someone comes to me at the very beginning stages of their brand development, I wouldn't necessarily recommend them to jump into one-on-one coaching because I know that they can work through a lot of the basic components within my courses. And then when they're ready, then we can get them started into the membership or one-on-one coaching. It really all depends on what someone needs to make progress at the rate that they would like to progress. And that's one thing that I learned as a special education teacher is that everyone has very different learning styles and there's not one particular way to achieve a goal that's going to work for everyone. And so you have to look at where someone wants to get, what is their desire, where do they want to be, and then what are they working with? So what background skills do they have? Gaps do I need to fill or what gaps can I help them to fill as far as their overall brand development? And then what supports and structures need to be in place to get them from where they are to that goal. And then we go from there. But that's not going to be the same for every single person. And that's really where one-on-one coaching comes into play, is that really true individualization. I can do that as much as I possibly can through instructional design of courses and in hot seat coaching calls and things like that. But one-on-one coaching is really the place within my business model where the individualization happens. And then last but not least, one of my philosophy in all of that, whether it's a membership, whether it is one-on-one coaching, whether it's in a course, whether it's in a one-off group program, whether it's on a podcast episode, what I want to do and what I try my best to do is to pursue excellence and get my clients results, move the needle, to help them to move the needle and create whatever I need to help them get there. And so those are my focuses. So that is my overall business model. That is my philosophy. That is my focus. And then, okay, so quickly, because I'll probably do other episodes on more specifics of these, but I wanted to share with you a few more specific components to my current biz model. So firstly, lead magnets. Lead magnets are the way that I capture name and email of potential customers and clients. So these lead magnets are promoted via ads organically on Pinterest, on the Maverick Mompreneur podcast. Probably seen in my show notes, I have at least one of my lead magnets, which is free content in exchange for name and email, on my website and in social media content. All of those lead magnets have a follow-up email automation that introduces myself, my brand, and leads to a one-time offer. And so if you don't have lead magnets set up with a sales funnel on the back end, you're missing out on passive income. That's a huge opportunity, and we will talk about that in subsequent episodes, but that's a huge component that I see missed a lot. People are showing up, 3 times a day on Reels, but there's no sales funnel on the back end. They might even have an offer or a lead magnet, but what is happening on that back end? Or it's kind of a mess and not effective. So anyway, we'll get there eventually in this season. Or you can hop into the Brand Builders Roadmap, or you can hop into Maverick Society membership and speed up the whole process. Okay, sponsoring myself once again on the podcast. At least you don't have to listen to commercials, right? Okay, so my lead magnets for my coaching business, main lead magnets are the Elevate Academy Facebook group. That's my free Facebook group, but to enter that group, I require email. So it's a lead magnet. Personal Brand Toolkit, that's another lead magnet. And my ebook, the 0 to 6 figure personal brand case study, that's a lead magnet as well. I have other ones, but those are the highest converting lead magnet. For social selling products, I have a typical e-commerce discount code opt-in with a follow-up email sequence for both leads and customers. The next component of my current business model, traffic sources for lead generation. So these are the ways that will find me and then get onto my email list. My email list sequences then point them back to my podcast and Instagram, which is how I grow those platforms. So the organic ways I generate leads are Maverick Mompreneur Podcast, my website, elevatedwithashley.com, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. All of those are optimized for search engine optimization. Some of that traffic is via referrals and shares, and some are through hashtags or real topics and the algorithm, but I cannot rely on social media algorithms. That's my other overall philosophy when it comes to building a brand, is building a brand that doesn't rely on chasing social media trends. Because since 2016, I can't tell you the amount of different shifts that even just Instagram has made. If I was still doing what I was doing back in 2016 on Instagram now, I wish it was so much easier. I'm not a huge Reels fan. I'll do them. I think there's some fun ways to do them, but I don't ever want to rely on that. And so that's why I really encourage utilizing and leveraging search engine optimization wherever you can. And then as far as paid traffic sources, I utilize meta ads, so Facebook and Instagram. And then occasionally on Pinterest, I will boost a pin on Pinterest, which is a paid ad basically, to boost an offer or a post initially. And then I will do an entire podcast episode on content repurposing, but I do have a content system and I've done this for years now actually, which is crazy. 1 podcast episode per week here on the podcast. I then repurpose that into lots of different pieces of content that I repurpose to different platforms, including Instagram, both stories and my feed, including my Facebook group, including my Facebook page. I really just have Instagram posts repurpose my Facebook page. So there's not really anything extra happening there. And then also email and Pinterest. So there's a lot going on, but it's really based on one key piece of content. And then last but not least, as far as my current business model, monetization and revenue streams. So what I have going on right now, and you can see my total current offer list within the Brand Builders Roadmap. It's all in one place, but I also have all of my courses and tools and resources on elevatedwithashley.com/courses, revenue streams, affiliate marketing, social selling, digital courses and products, one-on-one services, and that includes mentorship and coaching, that includes intensives, that includes hybrid, that includes Voxer only, and that includes custom done for you projects. And that's based on inquiry only, the highest level service. And then I have masterminds that run 1-2 times yearly, Social Seller to CEO Academy, and then Profitable Digital Product Funnel Mastermind. That's coming this year. And so I have 1 to 2 of those yearly, and that's outside of my Creme de la Resistance. Is that what it's called? Oh gosh, Chef's Kiss, the Maverick Society membership. Phew, okay. That is a lot of information for you, but I hope that was helpful. I know for me, I'm always so curious. How do people make money online? What are they doing? What does that look like behind the curtains? We just see someone's marketing. We see the forward-facing piece of it. So I hope that was helpful, because I know for me, I always want to know, how is it that someone is actually running their business? What are they doing? What is their philosophy? Why are they doing the things that they do? I see them in their marketing. I see the way that they show up, but what is on the back? So what are their offers? What is their client journey? What are their revenue streams? What's their philosophy behind what they're doing? What is their why? And so I wanted to share all of that with today. so that you can get an idea for what's to come, because over the course of the next few months, maybe even this full year, we are going to break it all down here on the Maverick Mompreneur podcast. And I hope that you find this massively helpful. I'm really excited for it, so I hope that you're just as excited as I am, and I cannot wait to check in with you for our second installment of this Brand Builders Roadmap series. And until then, cheers to your impact, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a ton of value, and if you did, I would really appreciate if you would rate, subscribe, and review this podcast. It really helps to push out the message that I have to share with other female entrepreneurs. Thank you so much. Cheers to your impact.